So this is a level 4 class, which is great. There are students that want to be here. They want to learn the language more. And so this is a really engaging, interactive activity. They're writing a script for a telenovela. So they're working together, using vocabulary, using the concepts that we learn in class. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien, Mario. No, okay? Queremos. Hola Mario, ¿cómo estás? Okay? Queremos actuar. ¿Cómo pudiste? Okay? Queremos actuar, ¿sí? So, hoy en clases tienen más o menos 30, 40 minutos, ¿ok? ¿Entienden? Sí. ¿Alguna pregunta? Sí. ¿Guión?
Sí. ¿Papel?
En papel, sí. So, clase, necesitas, ¿ok? Tu lista de vocabulario y hojas de papel para escribir, ¿ok? Yo voy a pasar los diccionarios, ¿ok? Tienen más o menos 30 or 40 minutos. They're not using technology, no phones, no computers right now, just a dictionary, the old school way, and it's a great activity for them to learn a little bit of what they've learned and how to put it into practice.
They had a large block of reading on the historical debates between faith and science. I have 3 different debates, one on Copernicus and Galileo and the geocentrism versus heliocentrism debate. And the second one starts with Sir Isaac Newton and talks about gravitation and the interplay between planets, but it ends with deism and it goes into the Enlightenment. So looking at how, in this debate number 2, how science and religion are still somewhat at odds.
I'm going to circulate to do the book check and ask who your scribe is. Okay? So make sure you have a scribe chosen and your book is front and center on your desk.
Then the third debate that they're looking at is Charles Darwin's Origin of Species and how that created the whole evolution versus creationism debate, and the warfare model there, and how that's not really the truth necessarily, depending on which faith you practice.
So we need a way to figure out the volume of something like this, right? So we want to compare cubic centimeters, which is a measure of what? What is this? Volume. Milliliters is also a measure of volume. Okay, so 2 different units for volume. So we need to figure out the relationship between the 2 of them. We really want a hands-on learning experience where they can get through each one of the exercises, and each one of those builds on a new element of the model.
The bottom.
Put it up and down. Yeah.
Up and down and the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom. Yeah. And so then you'll use that formula. See where it says volume equals 1/3 pi, and then there's 2 radiuses.
Yeah.
So the top radius, bottom radius. So we're always going back to what does the model say and what do we know. And so each experiment we do, each thing we do adds to that model and then builds upon it. So for them, they have to do things like in this experiment, we're using class data. So they're making a pretty large data set. They're using Excel to analyze their data, and then they're using that data to develop a conclusion or a rationale and using it to support their arguments. So at the end, we'll have a sort of session where they get together, they talk about what they saw, they talk about the trend, and they kind of try to relate those things together.
He's going from more as this kind of like the bombs being very immediate and localized to the notion of war extending out to the Stonehenge representation of ancient England, right?
We're creating a presentation about English poetry from World War I, poems given to us by Mr. Crosley. It's about the feelings of soldiers throughout the war and how it changes based on the time period that it was written in. Yeah, is one of them in the beginning? Like, have you forgotten yet?
Bodies of water. But not to that extent. Yeah,
Why is the answer yes?
But to figure out where they intersect.
Brayden?
Well, because our answer is like an infinite series of points.
Excellent. Your answer is an infinite series of points. Excellent. That shaded region. All right, so that's why we can't do it algebraically. We can only do it graphically. Okay, so we've got horizontal and vertical lines. Excellent.
What else makes this system different? Iman?
There's 3.
There's 3. So what I want you to do right now is graph these. Are we done?
No.
No. Someone tell me, what do we have to do next? What do we have to do next? Chris, what did you say?
Yeah.
What did you say? What? We had to shade. You can plug x equals 1 into this equation. You can plug x equals 1 into this equation. And we get y is equal to negative 1/2 plus 5. So what is y equal to? 4.5. So our coordinate point, or that point of intersection, is 1, 4.5.
So students are practicing characterization. They have learned the tools of characterization, those things that authors use to show us who a character is, and then they're applying it to their summer reading novel, which is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So each group has been assigned a character, and they've done a deep dive, and now they're going to jigsaw and move into new groups. So they'll be with kids from all other groups, and they'll be sharing what they learned about their character and asking and answering questions of one another.
So like so he's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And so be sure when we get into sharing these out in our jigsaws that you're sharing that insight, right? And that might even be an opportunity for you to solicit. Like, here's what we said. What do you think about that? Each bring their reading of the text and an understanding of the world and a particular set of life experiences. They bring them together, and then together they're constructing their knowledge into something that's bigger and maybe better and stronger.
Well, what do we know about that vertical line? It's straight. What is its value? 1. What's 1?